Hello everybody.
Nah, I'm just fucking with you. I don't actually talk like that. It'd be funny though. So, anyways, if you've been playing Battlefield 6 a ton like I have, then you've definitely come across Claymores. These tiny tears are the Battlefield equivalent of stepping on a Lego, promising you a free kill in exchange for a gadget slot. Unfortunately for us, however, they're kind of inconsistent. Lucky for you, however, I have a solution. Hello everybody, my name is Kat from the hit YouTube channel, Do Not the Cat, and today I have a simple question for you all. What if we took Claymores and instead of using them as the charge, we used them as the trigger? Well, you get these. These are Super Claymores, the result of me waking up in a sleep-deprived haze at 3 in the morning. The way these work is that you place down an explosive of your choice and then plop down a Claymore on top of it. When somebody runs by it, the Claymore will trigger your secondary explosive and then probably, hopefully, vaporize the ever-living shit out of poor little Timmy. It sounds simple enough, and I mean, it is, but by learning a couple of proper techniques, you'll be able to turn these from minor annoyances to proper goblin tier war crimes. So, why don't we jump into it? Starting off, while I could let you enjoy the fun of experimentation, both you and I know damn well you don't have the patience for that. So instead, how about I give you a quick rundown of the basics? The first thing I do after spawning in is immediately find a supply bag. Doing this allows me to get an extra C4 charge and an extra Claymore, effectively doubling the amount of fun we can have. After that, I start looking for a sneaky spot to place my IED. Depending on how creative you are, you can get really cheesy with this, but for me personally, I'm lazy as hell, so I usually just throw them out a doorway and call it a day. Depending on how I feel, at this point I may also swap classes to engineer and throw down a landmine just for a little bit of extra flavor, though realistically, this is what we call complete overkill. But then again, who doesn't love a bit of excessive damage? At this point, all that's really left to do is sit and wait. I usually join a random firefight, but depending on how much of a lazy sack of shit you are, you could also just wait around the corner and eat some popcorn. Alright, so now that you know the basics, how can this be improved upon? Well, if you want to use these at their maximum efficiency, then there's a couple of things you should keep in mind. For one, Super Claymores are defensive weapons, and as such, they do best in game modes like Rush or Breakthrough. For modes like these, I actually recommend not placing them directly on the point, as more than likely, someone's going to toss a grenade in, causing your Claymore to prematurely detonate. After all, nobody likes that, do they? Also, when it comes to C4, be sure to avoid throwing them all in one spot. Instead, space them out and place them onto walls and ceilings, that way they collapse the building when they go off. Speaking of taking out stuff, one of the more common tactics in Breakthrough is for the enemy tanks to big dick it up to the point, running over any buildings in the process. For those of you who haven't put 2 and 2 together, provided you use a landmine, Super Claymores are actually multi-purpose. In theory, these should one-shot a tank due to all the extra C4 you place, but in the event that it doesn't outright kill it, it'll still give your team the chance to run up and beat the shit out of him, which is arguably way funnier. Finally, while we're on the topic of landmines, if you can manage to get a squad of your friends together and convince them to bring an engineer, it'll be way easier. The best tactic for this I found is to have 2 recons and 1 engineer, allowing for a total of 4 Super Claymores to be tossed out into the battlefields. Oh, and when it comes to adding your friends into the fun, I highly recommend sharing this video with them. Mostly I say this because I'm a selfish sack of shit who wants more views, but more importantly, it'll help them get caught up to speed with what you're doing. Before sending you off into the world to commit some bullshit buffoonery, I do want to get one more point across. Simply put, remember that this video is by no means a definitive guide. Instead, my recommendation is to treat this more like a blueprint to inspire you to create new tactics of your own. And if after watching this video, you do come up with some, be sure to leave a comment explaining what you did and how you did it. And if you're feeling kind, maybe even subscribe while you're at it. That being said, I hope you enjoyed this new style of bite-sized tutorials, and I especially hope to see you on the next one. So until then, I've been your host Kat, and I will see you on the next one. Bye everybody.